Hey, my munchkins. Um, Welcome to week 2 of our quarantine staying at home. I hope you guys are all doing good. Hope you guys are keeping up with your homework. You guys should have gotten a whole bunch of stuff today. Um, so every week since we are out until May, beginning of May, I'm gonna post one main video every Monday. Usually it'll be in the morning. And you can have all week to watch it. It's gonna have story time, and I'll put a little drawing tutorial again since you guys have been liking that. And I'll also have a joke of the week and any other things that I think you guys might be interested in. And you guys can always go to my Google Classroom, and I'll put the code in this video of what my Google Classroom is. You can go on it, or your parents can go on it and find more links to things, or go and ask me a question if you have a question. But yeah, so I'm gonna read a primary book first, and then I will finish up our Mr. Granite is from Another Planet. I think I'm just gonna finish the book today so that I can start a new book next week, and then I'll go ahead and do our drawing of the week, and then at the very end I'll do our joke of the week. Now you need to listen at the very end of the video because I'll also have a riddle, okay? And this riddle, I want you guys to really think about it. No help from mom and dad. So mom and dad, no help. Think about the riddle, and if you have an answer for me, you can comment on the bottom of the video, and out of the ones who get it correct, I'll do a little mini raffle, and one of you will win a book, and I will send the book to you. Okay? So make sure you put your name and your answer. Sound good? All right. If you want to scroll through, if you're one of the upper grade kids and you don't want to hear the primary story, you can do that. But yeah, have a great week, everyone. Bye. This week, we are going to read for our primary students, Should I Share My Ice Cream? Well, for me, that's not really a question. You should always share ice cream. This is by Mo Willems, part of the Elephant and Piggy stories. So here we go. Ice cream, get your cold ice cream for a hot day. I wish it was a hot day. Oh boy, ice cream. One ice cream, please. Here you go. Oh boy, I love ice cream. Wait, Piggy loves ice cream too. Piggy is my best friend. Should I share my ice cream with her? Should I share my awesome, yummy, sweet, super great, tasty, nice, cool ice cream? Maybe Piggy does not like this flavor. Sharing a flavor Piggy does not like would be wrong. I'll eat the ice cream. Wait, Piggy will like this flavor. It is very yummy. I will share my ice cream. It will not be easy. Hey, Piggy's not here. She doesn't have to know I have ice cream. I will eat the ice cream. Where's Piggy? What if she's sad somewhere? I must find her. When I do, I will say, would you like some of my ice cream? Then she will say, thank you, that would cheer me up. Then I will give her my ice cream to share. Yum. Then my best friend will be happy. I will do it. I will share my ice cream. No! No, Piggy cannot have any of my ice cream. Now I cannot have any of my ice cream. I blew it. Who's that? You look sad. Would you like some of my ice cream? Thank you. That would cheer me up. Yum. That was not my plan. Oh, well. This works too. The end. That was a really good one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, so for my upper graders, we're going to be reading a few more chapters from Mr. Granite is from Another Planet. I know the last time that I read from this book was last Thursday, and I've only read 4 chapters so far. So I'm going to do kind of like a little review. So far we have Arlo right here, AJ, and he doesn't like school, and he sees a girl that he doesn't really get along with from his class. And he's going into the 3rd grade. He sees her while him and his mom are buying supplies for school. And then they go to school on the first day, and he meets his 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Granite, right there. And the school is trying to be more proactive about recycling and things like that. So they are wearing green, and they're trying to take care of the environment and things like that. Then in class, they're trying to think of ways they can be responsible, right? That's one of our 40s. Be responsible and, try to help the environment. So Mr. Granite decides that he's going to have these bicycles, and instead of at the table, they're going to be riding bicycles while they learn, which is kind of weird. And so now, they, hold on, I'm trying to figure out what it was I read. They were giving ideas in class, more ideas, and AJ and Andrea kind of get into a little fight in class. And so now we're going to go to chapter 5, which is Goo Goo Gaga. We were just about to get on our exercise bikes the next morning when the school secretary, Miss Patty, made an announcement over the intercom. Teachers, please do not throw your teacups around the teacher's lounge. Thank you. That was weird. Okay, pals, Mr. Granite said. It's time for language arts, so start pedaling. We all started pedaling, but we didn't learn anything about language arts because you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years who walked into the door at that very moment. Nobody. Because if you walked into the door, it would hurt. But you'll never believe who walked into the doorway. It was our old teacher, Miss Daisy. She was with her husband, Mr. Wacky, who is our reading teacher. We hadn't seen Mrs. Daisy since we graduated from 2nd grade in June. Mrs. Daisy, we all shouted out. Mrs. Daisy, said Mr. Granite. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? So there's Mrs. Daisy and her husband, Mr. Wacky. That's grown-up talk for what are you doing here? I miss my kids, like I miss you guys. We missed you too, said Andrea, the big brown noser. Mrs. Daisy was holding something in her arms, but we couldn't see what it was because it was wrapped up in a pink blanket. I wonder what it could be. Did you bring us a present? I asked. Not exactly, said Mr. Wacky. It's a baby, dumbhead, shouted Andrea. Mrs. Daisy had her baby. All the girls rushed over to look, as if they haven't seen a baby before. A baby is a big deal. What's her name? Andrea asked. Jackie, said Mrs. Daisy. Jackie Mackie. What a lovely name, Emily said. She's beautiful. She's adorable, said Andrea. She stinks, I said, holding my nose. I think Jackie just pooped, said Mr. Mackey. We'll change her diaper in a minute. I wasn't going to go near that thing, especially after it pooped. But all the girls were coochie coochie gaga, goo 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 to Jackie Mackey. All babies say goo goo gaga. Nobody knows why. It must be the first rule of being a baby. I think Jackie looks like you, Mrs. Daisy, said Emily. No, said Andrea. I think Jackie looks like you, Mr. Mackey. I think she looks like Mr. Klutz, I said. She's bald, has a balloon. Arlo, that's mean, said Andrea. Well, it's true. All babies look alike anyway. Jackie Mackey started drooling, and then she started blowing spit bubbles. Then she put her foot in her mouth and started sucking on her toes. Ew. I thought it was pretty disgusting, but the girls thought it was so cute. I know that if I started drooling in school, blowing spit bubbles and sucking on my toes, nobody would think it was cute. I would probably get kicked out of school. It's probably true. Wah! Jackie Mackey cried. Wah! I think she bit her foot, I said. Jackie might be pooping some more, said Mrs. Daisy. We better go now. Babies are weird. That is very true. All right, chapter 6. English is weird. That's true as well. Okay, everyone, back on your bikes, Mr. Granite said. It's time for language arts. Ugh, I hate language arts. Language is boring. Art is boring. So there's nothing more boring than language and arts. Except maybe math. Math is really boring. Sorry, Miss Molnar. It's in the book. There are some things I don't understand about the English language, Mr. Granite told us. Like what? Asked Andrea. Little Miss Know-It-All keeps a dictionary on her desk so she can show everybody how smart she is. Why is it that noses run and feet smell? Mr. Granite replied, Shouldn't it be the other way around? What do you mean? Asked Emily. Well, it seems to me that feet should run and noses should smell. Mr. Granite said, So why do people say that noses run and feet smell? It's just an expression, said Michael. It makes no sense, said Ryan. My feet don't smell, I said. They do too, AJ, said Neil, the nude kid. When you had that sleepover at your house, I had to sleep with your feet in my face. A nose would run if it had legs, Michael said. Feet could smell if it had a nose, said Ryan. Yeah, if you had a nose attached to your foot could smell, I pointed out. Arlo, you're just trying to get out of doing math next period, said Andrea. I am not. R2. We went back and forth like that for a while until Mr. Granite told us to knock it off. Why are there no eggs in an eggplant? He asked the class. And why is there no ham in hamburger? Hot dogs aren't made from dogs, and pineapple doesn't have apples in it, or pine for that matter. Mr. Granite is right, said Ryan. English is weird, I said. Why are boxing rings square? Asked Mr. Granite. If they're rings, they should be round. Yeah, some of the kids agreed. If one tooth and another tooth are called teeth, said Mr. Granite, and one goose and another goose are called geese, then why aren't a moose and another moose called meese? Yeah, said Neil. What's up with that? Why do we play a recital and recite at a play? Asked Mr. Granite. When a house burns up, how can it also burn down? And why do we drive on the parkway and park on the driveway? Yeah, everybody shouted. Mr. Granite's right, I said. The English language is all messed up. If you ask me, we should complain. Who are you going to complain to? Asked Andrea. The president, I said. We should write a letter to the president of the United States. Andrea rolled her eyes. But Mr. Granite said that writing a friendly letter to the president was a great idea. So na boo boo to Andrea. Mr. Granite passed out paper to everybody. It's hard to write while you're riding a bike, so I kept my letter short and sweet. Dear Mr. President, I'm a third grade student at elementary school. I don't think it's fair that your feet smell. Do you have a nose attached to your foot? Sincerely, AJ. All right, let's do one more chapter. Chapter 7, Mr. Granite goes overboard. Uh-oh. It was recess. We were on the swings on the playground. Me and the guys were talking about important stuff, like who won the big game last night. Andrea and her friends were talking about girly stuff, like what color they should paint their toenails. That's when Mr. Granite came over. He was carrying some kind of machine. Everybody, off of the swings, he shouted. Why? We all asked. I need to attach this generator to the top of the swing set, Mr. Granite replied. So every time you swing back and forth, you'll be making electricity. And there he is putting it on the swing. We had to get off the swing set and go over to the field next to the cows and the windmill. I miss Mrs. Daisy, said Neil, the nude kid. She was normal. We used to say Mrs. Daisy was weird, Michael said. But Mr. Granite is even weirder. Moo, said a cow. Mr. Granite's going overboard with this green stuff, said Ryan. He's falling out of a boat? I asked. No, dumbhead, said Ryan. I mean, he's getting carried away. I don't see anybody carrying him away, I pointed out. I looked around to make sure nobody was carrying Mr. Granite away. Moo, said the cow again. I heard that Mr. Granite is working on a machine that makes electricity every time you blink your eyes, Michael told us. We'll have to wear it like a pair of glasses. That's crazy, I said. I heard that Mr. Granite asked the music teacher, Mr. Loring, to write a song with just one note in it, said Neil, the new kid. Why? We all asked. So he wouldn't waste any notes, Neil said. That will be the most boring song in the history of the world, I said. Moo, agreed the cow who was standing behind us. Andrea and her friends were sitting on a bench a few feet away, looking all worried. What's eating you? I asked Andrea. Did you get an A- on the math quiz? No, Arlo, Andrea replied. I got an A+, but I just figured something out. What? We all asked her. Maybe Mr. Granite isn't a real teacher at all, Andrea said. Did you ever think about that? What do you mean? I asked. Maybe he's just pretending to be a teacher. Excuse me. I think that Mr. Granite is from another planet. That's nuts, I told her. Think about it, Arlo, Andrea said. Mr. Granite knows a lot about planets and stars and space, right? Yeah. And he doesn't understand the English language very well, right? Yeah. He has supervision, too, added Neil. He can see through walls. Did you ever notice that Mr. Granite doesn't have any hair growing out of his ears or nose? Ryan asked. Andrea might be right. After all, the first rule of being a grown-up is that you have hair growing out of your ears and nose. That's not true. My dad has to trim his nose hairs every week. Maybe Mr. Granite is from another planet. Moo, said the cow. He doesn't look like an alien, said Michael. Aliens are little green guys with big heads. Maybe Mr. Granite is disguised as a human, I suggested. Yeah, said Ryan. Maybe if we peeled off his human mask, underneath we'd find a little green guy with a big head. Mr. Granite is nice, Emily said. Maybe he's a good alien. Yeah, like E.T., said Ryan. That's my favorite movie. Maybe Mr. Granite is a nice alien who was left here on Earth, just like E.T. There are no nice aliens, Neil said. You're supposed to kill aliens. Yeah, I added, with laser beams. Stop trying to scare Emily, said Andrea. Mr. Grant is probably going to take over the world and turn us into flesh-eating robots, I said. We've got to do something, said Emily, and she went running away. The only problem was that Emily ran into a cow. She was on the ground, freaking out. What a crybaby. Moo, said the cow. Ow, said Emily, which is moo upside down and backwards. My dad is a policeman, said Michael, and he says you can't accuse people of stuff unless you have proof. That is true. So let's get proof that Mr. Granite is an alien, said Neil. And said Neil, the new kid. How are we going to get proof? Ryan asked. I have an idea, Andrea told everybody. Let's follow Mr. Granite home after school. I have my camera in my backpack. We can snoop around. I'll take pictures of him. When he peels off his human mask, we'll have proof. Everybody agreed that Andrea was a genius and that she should get the Nobel Prize. That's a prize they give out to people who don't have bells. That's the end of the chapter. All right, I'll finish this book in next week's video.
Hey, Levi, did you know there was a superhero who had a lisp who always worked out? No, Mommy! He was Thor. Your riddle this week is, what is full of holes but still holds water?
So I hope you liked my video from this week. Remember, every Monday I'm going to post a new video for the week, and you can watch the video all week and rewatch it if you want to. I hope you guys are doing good. Take care. Love you all, Munchkins. Bye.